Thank you, Rachel. We'll now open up the floor to our panel. If we can have our speakers come back up, John. And of course, we've still got our Dragon crew sitting on our inverse panel in the corner. They've been dedicated to the back panel. Does anybody have any questions? Again, we've covered a huge range of information today. In a quick summary, we looked at things like where to set up a multi-bed clinic, what sort of room would you need, what sort of space, how sophisticated should it be, should you have a clinic manager position or perhaps a silent receptionist position, should it be an appointment-based system or a drop-in, as in our Brighton and Hove clinic. The sliding scale for payments was another one. We spent a lot of time, and certainly a lot of what Rachel has just shared with us, this idea of a group dynamic. You know, what is it we're actually doing? One of the things I really liked to hear from Nick's talk was how do we capture that? We know all this stuff's going on, but how do we actually capture that in order to then demonstrate for future purposes to the graduates which are coming through and to the medical system of which we sort of are slowly moving our way towards, at least sitting next to, if not inside of. So of course there's so many opportunities for us in our private practice as well as in our multi-bed settings to be capturing some really useful information, and perhaps collectively that might lead to further changes in the future.
We do a drop-in system. I think we're the only drop-in, based on the website I looked the other day, I think we're the only clinic that does drop-in only. We don't do appointments, so people just come in. So we don't have that problem. We don't have to run an appointment book, which is great. But we do have receptionists who do a great job of just fronting or anything that's not treating the patient, basically. So, but the jury's still out as far as whether the drop-in works well or not. I'm not quite sure.
I just wanted to. I work. No, I was going to ask Rufus to talk about that.
Hi, Maggie. I just wanted to say something about the reminding people about appointments thing. You know, the issue when you're in private practice of people missing appointments and whether or not you charge them. We thought it was very important to make people be as responsible, even though they were getting a low-cost appointment treatment, to still be aware that they have to pay if they miss, and they do, you know, they take responsibility.
Hi, I'm Hyun. I work with Sian and Rufus and Slava here. I just wanted to add about the receptionists we've got. They are more than receptionists actually. They are more, we call them just helpers. And they are ear acupuncturists themselves. So they can also do some ear acupuncture when people are waiting for the body acupuncture, if they wanted to. And they can do some moxa. That was another issue talked about earlier on, because we haven't got much time to do moxa cupping, etc. But they can do some, those, other than acupuncture, those bits. So that's very helpful.
I'm really struck this afternoon by a lot of people talking about the power of the group. I remember reading a study that women who had breast cancer who had just 6 sessions in a mutual support group showed significantly greater survival rates of 5 years. And it just seems very interesting to me and quite significant in a time when we seem to lead increasingly isolated and privatised lives, to be reminded of these different situations where the power of the group is so effective in healing. That's something I didn't expect to hear so much of.
Yeah, I was just going to mention one sort of way to start setting up a dialogue with your local GPs is to, as patients are coming to you, obviously asking for consent from the patients to write to the GPs, just to let the GPs know that you are treating their patient. You might want to describe as well what it is that you're treating them for, but it's just to kind of set up communications, because if the GPs are just receiving these letters and they do have to read information on patients, this isn't the sort of information they can just throw away. It's often put up on their screens, on their computer systems now. And it's just a good way for GPs to start recognising and raising awareness of what you're doing and what your clinics are doing. So that's one little tip.